February 28th, 2020.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 143. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I am Todd Sturgill. Oh, my chair is a little squeaky. I just realized.
You've never cared before.
I noticed it right now, though, and I preemptively feel bad for you.
You've never cared about the levels of torment you put me through.
I'm sorry. You want me to do some WD-40?
It does fix everything. It legitimately fixes everything.
Sometimes I use WD-40.
Go on. What do you use it for?
I was going to make a masturbation joke.
Get that good greasy smell.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody probably thinks you were like working on a car or something afterwards.
I was working on something. No.
I was turning a crank in a way. No.
Terrible. Before
we started recording, we were talking about bathroom rituals.
Mm-hmm.
We were debating. We were talking about this. This is something that I feel like there's a stigma between men about standing versus sitting when they pee.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like I don't really understand it. I don't understand why there's a stigma there. Who cares? First of all, who cares?
You know what it is? You know what it is? We got to flex. So it's our weird flex because we can aim and we have power. No,
I suppose I don't know. I don't get it. We're all adults as a free country. Who gives a shit? So it's like for me, like we were talking about, sort of like how do you determine when you're like if it's gonna be a sitter or a stander, basically.
I mean, obviously. So this is just pure number one, pure just taking a piss. So, because obviously, sometimes I might stand to take a shit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just squat right over it.
Well,
stand on the toilet.
Bro, whoa. Do you not know about the owl?
Oh, yeah, I know about the owl.
Oh, I told you about the owl, right? With my boy Ronald.
I mean, I wish I didn't know that about him,
well,
but then
the funniest thing about it to me is it's like, what if you miss? What if you just plop a log just on the toilet seat?
There's a library that exists somewhere in my brain, just an index of the things I wish I didn't know.
I've told you. Yeah, of everything I've told you about Ronald, most of that is in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
An index of things I wish I didn't know, and yeah, the owl is in there.
The image I sent you a couple days ago is probably there too.
Yeah, it is.
Shirt getting rolled up a little bit.
Whatever the case may be, though, for me, it's like, I would say it's like 50-50 for two reasons. And the reason I wanted to talk about this, so, most of the time it's like I'm just going in for a quick pee or whatever. That's a standard.
For a quick pee, I'm going to stand, yeah.
But sometimes, if I need to take a shit, obviously I'm going to sit. And then sometimes a pee also happens. So it's like, you might as well just knock it all out at once, right?
Of course.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But then also, sometimes I just want to be leisurely. My bathroom is kind of my happy place in many ways. And it's something that I've realized about myself. I feel relaxed in my bathroom. I feel at peace. So sometimes I'll want to be leisurely in the bathroom. It's my happy place. The bathroom is a place of escape for me sometimes, Todd.
I mean, I know it is. I definitely know it is. I feel like most of the time you snap me you're on the toilet.
It is most of the time I snap you. I'm on the toilet.
I feel like I've seen your wallpaper.
We don't really have wallpaper,
I know,
but my towels, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so, to that end, it's funny. So, people get their tax return in or whatever, and they kind of splurge on shit. They buy some expensive stuff. We didn't really do that this year because, frankly, we kind of have everything we want.
Yeah.
But the one little splurge that we did do is we are redecorating our bathroom. So,
and the beauty of that is, I think you were even telling me, is when you guys get a new place, you just ease that shit right there. Bam.
Exactly. You can just work it into the new bathroom. No fuss at all. It's got this sort of it's funny because I've never really been the type of person to care about room design or anything like that, or like home design or anything.
Interior design.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it though, because I have an eye for it. The stuff, the decorations at our wedding, which we consistently got compliments on, how pretty our wedding decorations were. That was probably 90% me. in terms of like the way everything was laid out and the lights and all that.
Yeah.
The table settings and all that. That was probably like mostly my aesthetic. And then when it came to the bathroom sort of redecoration project, that's all my aesthetic too. It's all completely my vision. And I'm kind of going for this like sort of serene like Japanese mountain shrine kind of thing. So I got this.
I'm gonna need pictures.
Yeah, so I got this.
Yeah.
I got this new shower curtain that's like this mountain, this like forested mountain, and we've replaced all of our towels and everything, like with like these dark green and brown towels. Our like our sink has got these like there's a combination of wood and stone accessories on the sink. I actually got a diffuser, so like always smells good in there. There's gonna be some greenery in the bathroom. Just gonna be nice and chill. Just a chill, serene Japanese mountain shrine.
I respect that, man. I'm definitely gonna need some pictures.
That's the vibe I'm going for.
So that's what you did with your tax return, huh? You know what's fucked up is most of my tax return is gone, just because of just shit.
Oh yeah.
That I had to pay for. Mainly, the biggest brunt of it right now has been my glasses, but yeah.
That was the only real splurge. I mean, we're also, it just kind of worked out this way that we got it right around the same time Animal Crossing is coming out because we paid for that Switch for my wife and everything. So, but other than that, yeah, that was pretty much all we really did with it. And I mean, dump a couple $100 into redecorating the bathroom, but nothing too major. What's been going on, Todd? You got some new glasses?
Well, at the time of this recording, I do not, but they are ready.
They are ready for you?
Ready for pickup. But I cannot wait because my glasses right now are the most broken pieces of shit.
Yeah, they got a little Harry Potter going on?
Well, it's not even that they got Harry Potter going on. So they're so fucked up and stretched out, essentially, to where if I don't simply place them on my ears, they stretch out way far beyond. Far beyond.
So now that's the second thing on your body that's fucked up and stretched out. Whew.
Yeah. My urethra's pretty fucked up.
Oh, God. Oh, lordy. Todd, do you have any interest in seeing the Sonic movie?
I do want to see it at some point.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw it. I saw it with my wife, and I was like, I feel like I should talk about it on the show, but I don't know if we're going to do a shots on it because I don't know. I don't know if you're going to catch it in theaters.
Yeah.
Sonic's so fast, I just don't know if you're going to catch him, Todd.
Oh! I want to see it, but it really just boils down to like me going out to the movie theater.
Yeah.
And it's just God.
I keep going back and forth with the movie in my head because I liked it. I had fun with it. But I also wonder if we don't give these movies kind of a pass just because they're not garbage. You know what I mean? Like with
so
video
what you're
game
saying
movies.
is it's not the movie you went in knowing this movie wasn't going to be like some fucking masterpiece.
No, I knew it wasn't going to be a masterpiece or whatever. I was expecting it to be just like a fun, simple. I knew Jim Carrey was probably going to Jim Carrey the movie, as it were. And he does, in a way. I mean, look, it's fun. It's short, blessedly. It's only like an hour and a half long or something like that. And I don't know. It sets up like sequels up the ass, like big time. There's post-credit scenes, so don't leave too soon or whatever. If I were a Sonic fan, I would probably like it a lot more because I heard people saying, "Oh, I think it's better than Detective Pikachu." I'm like, in no way is this better than Detective Pikachu. Like, I feel like Detective Pikachu is legitimately a good film. Like, even if that was a movie about something that was not Pokemon, it still would be good. Whereas with Sonic, if this was a movie about something other than Sonic, it would just kind of be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if we don't just give these video game movies a free pass when they aren't like complete shit. Like we give them a little more leeway than I think we should. I guess.
Do you think, just off topic? Not, it's on topic, but off topic a little bit. Do you think this is the next like frontier of movies? Is fucking video game movies?
No. I've talked about this because that's what Dan always says. He's like, "Oh, I think video game movies are going to be the next comic book movies." No, I don't think so whatsoever. I don't think we're only just now. Video games have been around for forever, and we're only just now getting to the point where we're getting like halfway decent, like vaguely watchable video game movies.
Vaguely watchable. God, that's good.
It's like it's not going to be a thing. And the reason for that, and I think I've even talked about this on this show, is that video games are interactive.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather play them. I don't need video game movies.
Do you remember the dark times of the spoof movies?
The spoof movies?
Like the fucking satire shit.
Oh, you mean like Scary Movie and stuff like that?
Oh my fucking God. Dude, it got ridiculous though.
Yeah, I remember it got pretty dumb.
Dude, it was bad.
That was a little era there, wasn't it?
It was. Dude, it was like, dude, every single like fucking like sort of genre got their shit.
Yeah. I really liked Not Another Teen Movie. That's a classic. That's a classic. Interestingly enough, and I told you about this, because all roads have been, to touch on Olive Garden yet again, all roads have been leading to Olive Garden.
You're bringing it to Olive Garden. You didn't have to mention this. No, I'm just
See, you keep accusing me of bringing it to Olive Garden. Literally, Olive Garden is referenced twice in the Sonic movie.
Fuck.
So I'm not bringing shit to shit. It's happening. It's happening. I am being brought to Olive Garden. So we ended up...
Motherfucker, you went to Olive Garden.
I did, so I needed to go there to lift the curse. That was the only way. It's like I encountered like a yokai, and I had to break its evil seal that it held on me. It was coming up on the podcast, like 2 episodes in a row we got on the topic of Olive Garden, completely apropos of nothing. And then like just in my real life, it was coming up weirdly. It was trending on Twitter for a day there for some reason. And then like even my wife was like, I've had coworkers for some reason talking about Olive Garden lately. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, no way. It's been coming up on the podcast lately. She's like, really? That's fucking weird. And then we go see the Sonic movie and fucking there's a bunch of Olive Garden references. And I'm like, what hell do I live in right now? So yes.
The ninth circle of hell, with just fucking living in an Olive Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did go to Olive Garden for dinner that night and had an excellent time. It was great.
Did you feel like family?
I didn't feel like family. They actually do this new thing that I really love that I've never seen at any other restaurant, where they've got this little like device on the table that you can use to pay on like you don't have to like awkwardly wait for a bill or whatever. You can just slide your card.
Oh my fucking God, really?
Yeah, it's nice.
That's so good.
And if you don't want to deal with like a typical like waiter or waitress, you can even order with it. Like you can order on the thing, pay for it. You can order more food with it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like you never have to interact with a waiter or waitress there if you don't want to.
What a time to be alive.
And I was like, this is pretty legit.
What a fucking time to be alive. Everyone. Granted, these motherfuckers are out of a job, but fuck them.
I mean, the more barriers that I can put up between people and I, the better.
That's kind of my deal. I just the more you were just talking about that, like my dick was getting hard. I'm like, oh, that's incredible.
It was pretty sweet because like we went the typical. I didn't even realize that's what it was. By the way, they'll email you the receipt if you don't want a receipt, if you don't give a shit, or it has like a roll of paper. It'll print you a receipt.
This is my thing. Like, like people that don't like self-checkouts.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they get up their asses about like, I don't get paid to do this shit. I'm like, I love self-checkout. I fucking love self-checkout.
I'm sorry. I didn't know this was my job. I didn't know it was my job. Check myself out.
You know exactly the people I'm talking about. It's, oh, Lord.
I'm like, who cares? I prefer to not have to interact with people.
That's the thing is like, when I'm like, I hate awkward small talk.
Neither of us want to be there. Neither of us want to be talking about the fucking weather or the fucking football game. None of us want to be there.
Awkward small talk is a like personal like hell of mine, and I just hate it.
So it's so nice to be able to be like, hey, right here I can order all of my food. If I decide that I want dessert, if I want more breadsticks.
So how do you get that option though? Like to like, not deal with a waiter? Do they ask you or like?
No, you just start ordering the shit on your device and they just bring it to you.
Nice.
Like it's like a little tablet. It's like a little tablet that's on your table.
That's fucking dude. Like, what the fuck? That's genius,
awesome.
and I love it.
It's awesome.
Dude, how have you waited to tell me now?
I mean, look, some things make for good podcasts. Sometimes you have to cut things from real life.
You withheld this knowledge, this forbidden knowledge.
It's so cool, and I mean, like, obviously, people are still going to bring you your food, but like, I felt like I had the world.
The least amount of human contact is amazing.
I felt like I had the world at my fingertips. And there's something also about like not looking at a physical menu and like ordering on a touchscreen that makes you like inclined to order more.
Lord. Well, and also the fact I can just pay for it right then and there. I'm like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, you can legit just pay for it right then and there and be done. It's awesome. When we left, we felt like we were like dining and ditching. It was weird.
Well, it's like I honestly, that right there, that's the future. That's some like future.
Like my wife was like, "Are you sure we paid?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, we paid, we tipped." Like it automatically calculates a tip and everything.
Automatic like 10%, 20%, whatever. The fuck?
Yeah, it's a little like slider that starts at 20%. Like you can give less or whatever, but like it defaults at 20%. Then you can just move it up or down.
I'll move that shit right now. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
And then at the end of the meal, I'm like, I wonder if they still do the Andes mints, like at the end of the meal or whatever. And she just fucking got us like 15 Andes mints. I was like, I like this place. Nice. I feel like family.
Shit.
Yeah. So Olive Garden. Yeah, Olive Garden did me right. I'm not gonna lie. Todd, what have you been playing this week?
Shit, what have I been playing? So at the time of... So I have beaten Metro 2033
right
at this time. And that whole playthrough is... I don't know what episode it's going to be on at this point. But ended up being 8 parts.
Cool.
But, yeah, what can I say about that game? I think there's multiple endings.
Oh, is that right?
I think there apparently is. I don't know how the fuck you get them. I got the ending that I got, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to obsessively...
They really go into... I'll say this. One of my favorite episodes is episode 6. Because it's just me genuinely kind of like... I'm a little frightened. There's some... I'm getting chased a little bit.
God.
It's not good. I'm just like... there is some speed running involved with me running through this shit.
I'm not surprised by this. This is you we're talking about.
Well, no, it was because I was scared. I was scared, Seth. I was scared. My booty hole puckered.
Ooh.
No, now, I have not at this point started Metro Last Light, but I do plan on it. But overall, like I enjoyed my time with Metro 2033. I mean, it gets a little weird with like some of the mutant shit.
Right.
But I expected that. They kind of like sprinkle that in every so often in the game with like the dark ones. Not really a spoiler, but it's like, again, it's just like the dark ones. There's kind of like this like psychic bullshit going on with them.
There is a heavy supernatural element.
Yeah, and a little bit, yeah, with like the mutations that all this crap did. But overall, it's a solid shooter. I'm looking forward to fucking around with Metro Last Light, and then maybe not in the near future, but I do have Metro Exodus. I ended up buying that on sale.
Yeah, because that was like $23 or something like that.
Yeah, I ended up getting like the season pass. It was like $30. Like $30 overall. And other than that, I've just been playing the living shit out of Call of Duty. Really, Call of Duty's been like my chill game out of like when I get off work and shit.
Well, the good news about Metro is it sounds to me like that is the kind of series that just got better with each release.
Well, I'm kind of looking forward to that
Yeah.
Because I absolutely enjoyed my experience with. I mean, obviously, I had some issues. Obviously, where I ran into, where I was like, kind of just maybe something just stupid. Like I was fucking like the controls were fucking with me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll take the blame for that. I'm just a dumbass. But other than that, it just plays. It's a little dated, obviously, but I don't care. Most of the games I've been playing for like the YouTube channel has been like old shooters.
Yeah, I actually, speaking of that, just real quick, I don't know if I talked about this on the last episode or not. I don't know if it was up by then.
How dare you try to plug your shit? And I'm just playing.
Plug my shit in the middle of your plug. Yeah, I got playing Vanquish videos, so that's up. There's an episode of that.
Bitch. No, I'm just.
I'm just gonna kind of upload them and like put them up like as I do it. Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna have a rigid
just obviously
schedule.
let me know when you got them in the Dropbox so I can fuck with them.
Of course,
but
of course.
Other than that, yeah, it's been Call of Duty, and I do have to shout out to this garbage ass 7 gig update that took no time to download.
This is why I ended up deleting that fucking game.
7 gigs took like 30 minutes to download, if that, and then like 2 hours to fucking copy. It's like, what the fuck?
Beautiful.
What the fuck is going on with that copying shit?
That's the PlayStation for you, bro.
Bro, it's like fucking ridiculous. I'm sitting there like I had a bad day at work. I'm like, bro, I want to shoot shit. I want to just brainlessly shoot shit. And not even brainlessly shoot shit. I'm like, I usually end up like working on something like for a couple hours. Like I leveled up my P90 yesterday. My P90 is like fucking like decked out and shit now. Then I got like the operator skins for Ghost, which you got to do like a bunch of like Ghost challenges, like with the actual perk Ghost.
I see.
Like you got to get like 15 blah blah blah, 3 throwing knife kills, 3 melee kills, like type of shit like that. So I got like this all black Ghost skin, like rocking my edgelord self. Bam. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, just killing shit. And also I don't know if I mentioned I started using the Car 98K in the last episode of the podcast. I don't remember.
I don't remember what happened yesterday, Todd.
The car 98K is exactly what I want. It makes me feel like I'm sniping old school style in like an older Call of Duty, and it feels right. And I don't know why the fuck it's taking me this long to actually start using it.
Well, you will evolve and adapt, Todd. You will find new things.
I say that at work every day.
What, that you're gonna evolve and adapt?
No, improvise, adapt, overcome. What have you been playing, Seth?
What have I been playing? Still playing Dragon Quest, of course, because I'm gonna be playing that game for the rest of my life.
I forgot you got that good old Billy Mays moment. But wait!
Oh God, yeah, that's just a thing. There's that game will not end. I made this shitty pun on fucking Facebook, more like Drag On Quest.
Yeah, I saw that. I kind of cringed at it. And I'm just playing.
The game won't end. The game simply will not end. I picked up Dreams. Dreams is interesting.
Yeah, you're snapping me some fucking cool shit.
Yeah, people make really cool shit on that game. I have not endeavored to brave the just sheer amount of tutorial required to make shit in the game. My wife was like, I want to make a level, and I'm like, it's not like that. This is not the kind of game.
Yeah, that's a straight up like, yeah.
Because she was thinking it was going to be like Super Mario Maker or whatever.
Oh no, it's probably like way more in depth.
You're going to be doing like hours of tutorial before they even let you loose, because like there's just so much to learn. I mean, you make completely custom games like from the ground up with this thing. I've seen so much crazy shit in this game. There was somebody who made like Final Fantasy VII, like it looked like the low poly like PS1 game, like the models from that, but with the gameplay of like the remake that's coming out in April. There was somebody who made like a fully functioning Blood Gulch in like a Halo engine that I saw. Somebody just made a 7-level Crash Bandicoot game, like complete with music and everything. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. And a lot of it is just like work in progress stuff, but the stuff people can do. I mean, I don't know what the limitations are for Dreams, but I've seen
There are none. No.
seriously, I've seen some crazy shit. I've seen some really crazy shit. I don't know if or when I will ever make the jump into making things myself.
If you make something, I think you need to do a video on it.
I debated on it. I think I will probably make a few videos just like showcasing certain levels because I think that would be fun.
That'd be cool, like cool little like video.
Because a lot of time I've spent hours now just jumping into random levels, seeing what the deal is.
No, motherfucker, I remember like your first time in it, you're just like, you see this shit? As you're like snapping me. It's
crazy.
This shit's crazy.
It's nuts. The shit people can do is nuts. I also, other than that though, I did completely space that the Mega Man Zero/ZX Legacy Collection was coming out. I didn't realize that came out like this week. I was like, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and buy that because I like having my entire Mega Man series on my Switch. So that's out. I've been fooling around with that here and there, just kind of playing the various games. This is a really underplayed series, the Mega Man Zero series. Really good series, too. I still prefer the mainline series and the Mega Man X series, but Zero is probably my third favorite. It's really good. Like, especially the ZX Advent games. These were Game Boy Advance games, and they've actually done some good work to this, where they have I was curious how they were going to do it with, like, especially the DS, like the touchscreen shit on the DS.
Yeah.
I was like, how are they going to pull this off? It's actually kind of cool. You have a little mini like touchscreen that you can interact with the right stick if you want to and stuff like that. And they've completely remastered the audio so it doesn't sound all tinny and gross like it would on a handheld. And then they also they have like some kind of anime cutscenes in the game, and they've remastered those too, so it looks good on like a big screen. So I was just impressive ports all around. These Mega Man Legacy collections are great. So well worth the money if you're a fan. If you've never played these before, I think it is worth picking up. It is an underrated series for Mega Man games. And we're getting to the point where there aren't like that many Mega Man games that haven't made it like in a collection.
You know, I've never played Mega Man.
I know that. There are many things you've never played.
Will.
I'm not as offended by that as I am like Tetris.
Yeah. I've never played Tetris either.
See, Tetris sort of offends me just as a human being, but Mega Man doesn't offend me too much. You could be forgiven for having never played Mega Man.
Well, granted, I probably have played Tetris once.
Yeah. I
didn't enjoy it. No.
Yeah, that's crazy talk. But anyway, that's about it, Todd. That's in terms of what I've been playing. I've been kind of futzing around with things. I haven't had a good, long, meaty session in a while. There's been D&D going on and stuff like that, so I've been hammering away at various things. So a lot of irons in my fire, Todd, as always.
Oh, always and forever.
A busy man, Todd. I like it that way. Are you ready for some news?
Not really. No.
I've got a healthy smattering of news for you this week. It was actually funny because it was looking like it wasn't going to be that big of a news week, and then it sort of became.
Yeah. Every single Snapchat from the beginning of when we started talking about this, it's pretty light news week. Pretty light. But as the days went on,
it's all bad. That's got
it was. It's like that Rick and Morty shit, like where it's just a quick and easy adventure, and they just like fucking just
pretty much. That's more or less what has happened. There's still we have still not heard any news about any sort of direct.
Good.
Part of me is like it is good, but I was thinking about this though. I'm like, when are they going to do a fucking direct? Because
February 29th.
Happy leap year, motherfucker.
The leap year direct.
They just don't have that. You can't have one too close to Animal Crossing because you don't want to overshadow Animal Crossing. And then they also have, it's not going to be next week because they have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon coming out next week. I doubt they're going to do one next week. So it's like, and then if you're going to do one in April, you might as well just fucking wait until E3 at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Just do the straight up E3 direct. Yeah.
so I'm like, when are they going to do one? And there are still things that need to be talked about because all signs point to, for example, all signs point to the remake of the first Xenoblade Chronicles game. All signs point to that happening like really soon, like April or May. And I'm like, we're not going to have a direct to showcase that?
It's like fucking get a direct, and it's like, huh, Shadow Drop now.
It's possible. I mean, because it's been actually rated and listed for sale for May for like various different retailers and shit like that. But now the ESRB has actually rated it, and if the ESRB is rating it, that means that it's like done. So
it's like soon, basically.
So it's done and it's coming like soon. Like they're probably printing discs. So that game has got to be coming within the next couple of months, and we know they haven't said anything about it. So I don't know. I just don't. I feel like a direct has to be soon. I just don't know when they're gonna fit it in. And I don't know, man. It's driving me crazy. I feel like I've got these fucking like, a map with a bunch of connected strings and shit.
Oh, fucking like that shit from
that,
It's Always
that like
Sunny.
Charlie Day shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now with that. But
you're about as crazy as him too right now.
Anyway, speaking
That's
of,
funny.
let me just since I mentioned Nintendo Direct, I did say that I wasn't going to touch on the Animal Crossing Direct that happened last week.
I mean, it's nothing with like talking a little bit about it.
I do want to talk a little bit about it, just because there are some tidbits that you guys may want to know, like if you haven't seen the Direct or if you haven't kept up with this game. There are a few little things that I do kind of want to just put out into the ether. So probably the most controversial topic of discussion, like relating to New Horizons, is how it will not support cloud saving. And how Nintendo...
I did hear about that.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the show already and stuff like that, but Nintendo also seems to be like kind of archaic about how they're going to handle data recovery for the game. They've also said in the past that they're working on a special solution that is specific to Animal Crossing New Horizons so that like Nintendo Switch Online members can recover their data in the event that something happens. And they talked about that again in the Direct. However... They did something, they put some pesky fine print in there, Todd, when they talked about it. Fine print at the bottom of the screen. And this fine print notated that the service to transfer your data for Nintendo Switch Online members, it can only be performed one time. So fans took notice of this and started...
Was it like what, fine print essentially?
It was literally fine print at the bottom of the screen.
Fucking hell, dude.
Yeah. Fans took notice of this and, started to bitch.
Of course.
Nintendo deleted the video and re-uploaded it with that text removed. So, it's like, okay, was the fine print like posted in error? Is that not actually how it's going to work? Did they just remove it to save face? Or
all of the above? No.
Are they going to kind of rethink the strategy about this now that the fans have like had backlash to it? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know why the fuck they thought that would be a good idea. Like, just once.
I just wish they would be like forthcoming about why. Like, if there's some sort of weird like system-wide thing.
Is it wrong that I'd respect Nintendo for just going, fuck you? That's why.
Because fuck you. Love Nintendo.
I would love it, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something weird that this game does to the Switch hardware that means that they can't utilize that stuff. Now, the cloud saves I get because they don't want they have made it very clear, and I'll talk about this in a second. They've made it very clear that they do not want people cheating or exploiting this game in terms of like online stuff. Mm-hmm. So cloud saves are part and parcel with that, but also. Something that people were stupidly worried about was that there were some people who are like, we haven't seen anything about holidays or seasonal events or anything like that. Does that mean they're not in this game? Well, no, they are in the game. However, rather than being like baked into the game, New Horizons, they're actually going to be distributing them via free updates. So there are upsides and downsides to this. So again, the reason they're doing this is because they don't want people like just time traveling. Because that's what a lot of people would do. They would just get their game, time travel to like Halloween, get the Halloween furniture, and then sell them on the fucking Animal Crossing black market. You know?
Yeah.
Whatever. So they're trying to stop that. I get that, and I'm actually cool with that. And another thing that I think a lot of people aren't considering is that since they're going to be actually like online updates, they could actually change up the holidays. Maybe it's not the same thing every year. Maybe
Like actually update the holiday events.
yeah,
type of
maybe
shit.
you get new items
Yeah.
this Halloween, or maybe like this character pops up that wasn't in there before.
I mean, that'd be a cool way to keep the game alive.
Yeah, keep it
like
fresh.
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it. Yeah.
I would be very happy about that. So that's an upside to these things being, online updates rather than being baked into the game. But also, now players who play offline, it seems like they're going to have no way to experience the holiday. So.
No,
And also, if these are going to be like online updates, does that mean that one day, like in 10, 15 years or whatever, when they shut the servers off, that they're just not going to be a part of the game anymore?
the holiday events will die.
So I'm curious how they're going to handle this. Like, because there are a couple ways they could do this. They could make it so that you effectively download the holiday into your game, and now you just have it. Or maybe when the final holiday event comes around, you download it, and it's going to stay in your game from then on. I don't know. But there's a lot of like weird shit, a lot of like weird obstacles that Nintendo is having to overcome with this game to stop people from cheating. And I almost wonder if it's even worth it.
I was dead ass about to say that.
I'm like, who really gives a shit?
Is it really worth this much bullshit?
I don't know
Like,
that it
dear
is.
Lord.
I don't know that it is. I don't really. It's not the sort of thing that
But,
I
like,
do.
here's my thing. What does it hurt? Does the cheating hurt the Animal Crossing economy?
I mean, not really. I mean, you can choose to avoid it if you want to.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying. Like it's just. I'm with you. It's not worth it.
For me, I'm like, I don't really care. The whole argument that some people are, it's my game, I should be allowed to cheat. I paid for this game. I'm like, well, whatever. That's
Nintendo made it, bitch.
well, they're sort of like there's sort of Animal Crossing is like a half step away from being like an MMO at this point with the online connectivity stuff. So it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna cheat, they do have to find some ways to stamp that out. So I get that. But I don't know. If it were me at the helm, I would just be like, just keep it how it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. They also, I do encourage you guys, if you're interested in New Horizons, check out the Direct. There are a lot of major changes that are revealed, but there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you saw this or not, because I don't think you watched the Direct, did you?
No, I did not. I definitely forgot about it.
So one thing that they're introducing with this game, and so it's terraforming, right? So you can actually terraform your island.
Oh, yeah. This is the meme I saw. You're just God now.
Yes.
Yes.
You can literally
Yeah.
the whole like bullshit is like, oh, you can work for the Nook Inc. or whatever and put on your little construction hat and change the way your river layout is and
Yeah, you're essentially God.
remove the cliff sides and all that. Now,
Oh, I don't like the way this river bends here.
exactly.
No, I'd like to.
Exactly. I wish for there to be a waterfall here. Make it so.
This cliffside annoys me.
That's a nice
gone.
cliffside you got there. That's essentially
That's
what
like-
it is.
Yeah, I saw the meme. I saw a meme where it's like the power climb or some shit.
It's like ridiculous. Look, on one hand, it's like, okay, this is great. Like in terms of like making your perfect island or whatever.
I remember the whole meme now. I don't remember the first part, but it was like blah blah blah, Mayor God.
Pretty much, because I mean, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like how much power.
Well, I think it's it's worthwhile to like build a perfect town of what you have, you know?
Well, that's the sort of thing. To your point, the meme or whatever. You start off, you're just a villager in the old games.
Yeah.
Like you're a villager. You're just one of other villagers. You're living in this place with these other people. I felt like the mayor angle in New Leaf was a really good half step of like, okay, you've got a little more control over your town and making it really custom, but you're not fucking God. You're not changing the landscape, you know?
You're dead ass, just like, I don't want a river.
It's odd, man. I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, this is a really cool quality of life change. I can't wait to make my island exactly the way I want it, blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, I'm like, I feel like it's losing a little bit of the magic. Just a little bit.
By giving you too much magic.
just giving me too much control. Like, there are... Sometimes limitations are a good thing. Where, like, at a certain point, you stop feeling like you're part of the... You're not just one of the townsfolk anymore. You literally are God.
Now the real thing, can you Thanos snap?
You could always kind of do that.
I know, but I want it to be even funnier. Just the dead asses.
Well, like, you can even use, like, your amiibo cards to ostensibly, like, call in villagers and stuff like that. And,
yeah.
like, you can now choose where you want to place the villagers' like houses, which is really nice because now.
Yeah, and then because I think one of the main things that used to suck for like I think in the version of the game that you guys played is where they just go in like a pathway.
Yeah, you would make a pathway
right
and they just
middle,
build it and just fuck up your path or whatever.
It's like, you ignorant bitch.
There are some. Don't get me wrong. There are some really great quality of life changes. I'm gonna spend hundreds of hours in this goddamn game. I can't wait. But I just can't help but feel like it's just going to lose a little bit of something. Like, just, I have too much power, and I don't know if I like it. We'll see.
I love the power.
You know nothing of power. I don't know. I'm still really excited. I can't wait. Are you picking up Animal Crossing?
I plan on it, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I remember you talking about it, but it also comes out the same day as Doom, and I'm like, I feel like you're not going to...
Heavy metal intensifying.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if you're going to resist that call. It's an easy choice for me.
It's, to me, I actually wouldn't even mind doing a playthrough of Doom, actually, for the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Speaking of Doom, actually, they have an eShop sale right now on the Switch where you can legit get Doom 1, 2, and 3 for like $6.
Nice.
It's like super cheap. So, if you ever wanted to play any of those old Doom games, you absolutely can on the cheap. I think Doom 2016 is even on sale on Switch right now for like half off. So,
how is that on the Switch?
It's actually a really solid port.
I mean, obviously it can't run as good, but it's probably not too bad.
Yeah, so it's not 60 frames. It's locked at 30.
30?
But visually, it doesn't look too much worse than the console version.
That's awesome.
They actually... There are a couple Switch ports that are like that. Actually, speaking of Metro, they just did a Switch port of Metro 2033 and Last Light on Switch. And Digital Foundry did a comparison. And again, visually, the game doesn't really look much worse on Switch than it does.
I mean 2033 and Last Light, they're already pretty dated.
They're kind of dated already, whatever. But they like the game actually looks and runs well on Switch, and like it's kind of cool to see. Anyway, Todd, I've got some more coronavirus news. The coronavirus has been infecting the video games industry.
Motherfucker, it's about to infect the U.S.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to be talking about that. So, more and more companies are dropping out of PAX East in response to growing concerns.
Oh shit, really? I didn't actually see this.
Yeah, so we had Sony. There's Capcom has now dropped out. There's like a growing list of people who have dropped out.
Oh, how the mighty have...
So, Sony's probably the largest presence to drop out of the show, and its absence has caused a ripple effect that was felt even by the local government. So...
No, I see some top thing here saying they just cancel PAX East and some other shit for Corona.
It's not that bad. But the mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh... He actually sent Sony a letter this week begging them to reconsider their PAX East attendance.
Didn't he try to say some like racist shit? Like, it would be like racist or something?
He said it would be like promoting like negative stereotypes about...
Dude, it's promoting fucking just not to get fucked up.
So he's not talking about, when he says that, he isn't talking about negative stereotypes of like Chinese people. He's talking about negative stereotypes involving like I don't want anybody to think that Boston is some disease-ridden place now because one dude has coronavirus.
Well,
so his actual quote from his letter says, quote, "While we understand that you are concerned for the health and safety of your workforce, we urge you to reconsider and to learn more about the realities of this global health issue." Well,
the realities of this global health issue is it's about to be fucking global.
Well, let's talk about the realities for a second, because meanwhile, the CDC, that's the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, say that the virus has spread to other countries outside of China. A few hundred cases are being reported across places like Italy and Iran.
Yep. Bro, I think deadass the prime minister of Iran or some shit, deadass is infected.
Yeah, here in the U.S., we currently have 57 people diagnosed. The majority of them came from a Japanese cruise ship.
Yeah, I do know about that, yeah.
And as the virus continues to spread, the CDC says that the possibility of the virus spreading to communities throughout the U.S. isn't really a question of if anymore, but when.
Yep.
So I don't think it's going to be some like hardcore global outbreak or whatever, but it is a little bit foolish to basically say that they are like they're unfounded in their fears by pulling out of vaccines.
I think. Well, you know what it is? I don't think people took this seriously enough.
No, they didn't.
And that's I think the fucking problem is just like, I don't want to go. I can go 9 yards on this. It genuinely pisses me off the way this whole shit was handled.
Just with the coronavirus itself.
Just in general. Just in fucking general. Like, it's like motherfuckers slept on this shit until, what the fuck? Oh.
Well, now, meanwhile, you've got thousands of people who have died from it over in China.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, the way this shit was handled, it's like, how long have we, like, just in general, just as a complete whole world, been, like, countries, governments, you all retarded?
Yeah, so it's also funny too that the mayor of Boston is saying this. I'm just sort of like, I mean, I know you want more business to come into your town.
I get it. Is like, from a business and a tourism standpoint, obviously, like you want that moolah. But guess what? I'm sorry, it's over.
Yeah,
take that L. Take that L for this shit.
There's still going to be plenty of people in Boston for PAX East. Make no mistake. So I think it's actually happening this weekend.
It's fucking God. Get me away from the coronavirus because I'm actually genuinely pissed off about it.
Well, Capcom revealed via the official Resident Evil Twitter account that a demo for the RE3 remake is on the way. It's actually funny because I was thinking about this. I was like, maybe they're releasing a demo because Capcom was one of the companies that dropped out of PAX East.
Yeah.
So maybe they're releasing the demo kind of in like, hey, we're not going to be PAX East, but here's a public demo for you guys to play the game.
I respect the shit out that if that's why. Yeah,
that's just conjecture on my part. I don't know if that's why they did it, but that's what it feels like to me.
And if that is why, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So they didn't give an official release date for the demo. They just said that it's going to be coming soon. So I know you're hyped for that, Todd. I know you're going to be checking that out.
No.
I might check it out. I own RE2, and one day I'll play it. We'll see. Todd, Facebook has acquired Sanzaru Games. You familiar with Sanzaru Games?
No, I'm not.
I'll tell you why you're not. Because they're the studio most known for developing Sly 4, Thieves in Time.
That a game? No, I'm just...
And if you were a decent human being, you'd be playing the Sly Cooper series right now.
Do you know I've never actually played that series?
I'm sure you haven't. Todd, right next to the library of shit I wish I didn't know about Ronald is a library of games that you should play but won't.
Like what, Seth? No.
I know.
What did I say that recently too? I said that shit recently.
You were like before you settled on Metro. You're like, I'm looking for something new to play.
That was that one. I said that even for like another thing.
I'm sure you did.
And you made a joke about it.
I'm sitting there listing like all these games. I know. I know I could play that. But anyway, so Sanzaru is actually going to be joining Oculus Studios. Facebook has acquired them. They're going to be focusing on VR development, which makes sense because they've now developed 2 games for the Oculus Rift. However, this does not bode well for the future of the Sly Cooper series. Sanzaru, as folks may know, was actually passionate about trying to revive the Sly franchise.
Like, do like a reboot or what?
Well, not even really a reboot, because Sly 4 was a continuation.
Yeah.
And Sly 4, by the way, is a really good Sly Cooper game. And they did everything right. They made a good game. It was actually cross-play, cross-platform. So, like,
I actually do remember that. I'm talking shit.
Yeah, you buy it on PS3, you get it on Vita, your save transfers between both. They did everything right with that game. It was really fucking cool. And I don't know how well it sold, but there's definitely drumming up of interest from them. They're like, man, we really want to continue on with this. We really want to make more Sly Cooper games. But now, of course, now that Facebook has bought them up, the possibility of Sly ever coming back seems further away than ever. Sucker Punch, the original developers of Sly, of course, are now working on bigger and better things with Ghost of Tsushima coming later this year. So, seems like Sly Cooper is dead for now, Todd.
Was it ever alive? No, I'm just kidding.
R.I.P. Platinum Games revealed this week the second of its Platinum 4 announcements. A mysterious new project simply called Project GG. Did you see this?
I did not.
Very hot off the presses, Todd. This was just announced today at the time of this recording. So details are slim. We do know that this game is actually going to be self-published by Platinum, which is a nice change of pace for them. It's actually going to be directed by your boy, Hideki Kamiya. This is actually the first game he's going to be personally directing since The Wonderful 101. You'll remember he was in the director's seat for Scalebound, but that, of course, got canceled. So this is Kamiya's new game.
God, fucking, I always forget about Scalebound.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of a teaser for Project GG. We got a little teaser trailer. And the game looks like it's going to be about a superhero that can grow to a gigantic size and fight kaiju.
You have my attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't really see much. There's just a dude that, like, saves a Shiba Inu, like, from the wreckage from, like, a kaiju.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's pretty much all that's in the teaser.
I mean, the idea of fighting kaiju has my attention, so I'm down. I'm down to see more.
It calls itself, there's some text in the trailer, and in the text it calls itself the third in Kamiya's superhero trilogy. And what it's referring to there is it's referring to Beautiful Joe back in the day and The Wonderful 101. So this will be the third one. So the trailer even ends by saying Project GG is a go-go, which is an overt reference to Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're a big Beautiful Joe fan, Todd.
Super big fan.
Are you really?
No, I'm talking shit.
I was about to say, I never knew that about you. Beautiful Joe 1 and 2 are fantastic games. I would love for those games to be remastered. Those games are so fucking good.
You shut your fucking mouth about remasters, all right?
I want
fucking new IP, goddammit.
Well, you are getting new IP. You're getting Project GG. It's a go-go. So Beautiful Joe's catchphrase is henshin a go-go. So, yeah. That's a straight up Beautiful Joe reference there. I don't think this is going to be a new Beautiful Joe game. I think this is just kind of, they're referencing that to give you the sort of feel, give you the vibe.
Yeah.
Because, Wonderful 101 kind of has that same vibe that Beautiful Joe has too. So, I don't know. I think that's all going to fall in line there, Todd. We still have 2 more announcements from Platinum. We have no idea what they could be. But, I don't know. I'm hoping for something a little more concrete with the next announcement. I don't want it to just be another teaser for some far-off game. I want some Bayonetta 3 news. I don't know. We'll see. So, Yacht Club Games did a second Yacht Club Games Presents livestream event this week. They put a spotlight on a game called Cyber Shadow, which is a 2D pixel art ninja action game that Yacht Club is actually going to be publishing. It's the first game they're going to be publishing for release this fall. The Switch version of this game is even going to have support for the Shovel Knight series amiibo. So that's cool. They also gave a development update on Shovel Knight Dig. You'll remember that they announced that during the last one. It's not going to be releasing until next year, so we got some time to wait on Shovel Knight Dig. But they revealed a brand new game called Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, which looks to be a roguelite platformer full of new and old Shovel Knight characters. And I'm all about puzzle games like that. Those kind of match 3 puzzle games.
Yeah.
That's right up my wheelhouse. I have not played a good one in quite some time. So you add Shovel Knight to that and I'm all over it. It looks really fun. No release date or platforms were specified, but the Switch version of the game is going to be playable at PAX East. And then PlayStation tweeted independently that the game is coming to PS4. So we know that it's coming to Switch and PS4 at the very least. And honestly, the fact that it's coming to PS4 could imply a 2020 release. Because if not, why wouldn't they just say it's going to come to PS5?
Yeah.
You know? So, I sort of feel like it's coming this year. I'll be keeping a close eye on that. You interested in a little Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, Todd?
I've never been on those sorts of games.
Never played Puzzle Quest back in the day?
Never.
God, I love Puzzle Quest. Game was so fucking good. I lost like a few days in Puzzle Quest when it came out on a Xbox Live Arcade. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching that closely. Todd, CD Projekt Red. Actually, you know what's funny?
What's up?
I think CD Projekt is actually pronounced like CG Projekt.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I don't even think it's actually CD Projekt Red. I think it's CD. It's some weird Swedish thing. Whatever. So those are obviously the developers of the Witcher series. They're developing the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077. Those guys, if you didn't know, Todd, absolutely flush with buckets of cash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're a Polish developer. They're currently valued as the second largest European video game company. Market evaluation puts them at a whopping $8 billion of value.
But did you know that PAX East lost them too?
Yes, they did. PAX, they're one of the many companies that's pulled out. They are behind only Ubisoft. And Ubisoft is valued at $9.52 billion, so they're not even far behind. CD Projekt is like literally right behind Ubisoft as being the most valuable video game company in Europe.
That's fucking crazy.
It's got to be because of, like, you know, they've got the Witcher Netflix series, they've got the games, they've got the, you know, the hype is...
Do you know that they straight gave, like, a copy of, like, The Witcher 2 to, like, or The Witcher... They gave the copy of, like, The Witcher 3, I think, to fucking, like, Barack Obama.
Yeah, it was The Witcher 2. And yeah, they did. Obama made a visit to Poland, and that's sort of like a thing. Like, it's like, hey, like, you're from... Here's, like, a national treasure from our country. It's The Witcher 2.
Yep. Fucking hilarious. So good.
I mean, The Witcher, as a franchise, literally is, like, a Polish national treasure. I mean, it's, like, a huge deal there. It's hilarious. The studio has, like, ballooned over the course of its life. It now employs some 900 people.
Mm-hmm.
And it even now belongs to the WIG 20, which is an index of the 20 largest companies on the Warsaw Stock Exchange.
Wow.
So, yeah. CD Projekt Red, huge, and they're going to show no signs of stopping when Cyberpunk comes out. That game is going to sell gangbusters. No doubt. We got a big piece of news here, Todd. We got a big juicy one for you here, Todd.
I've been waiting for it.
This is probably the most major news of the week. Microsoft lifted the curtain on some of the final hardware specs for the Xbox Series X this week.
Now, I knew this is what it was. I didn't read it myself, though, because I wanted to come in blind.
Okay.
I wanted some hot takes.
So, you're not going to be super surprised at some of this, because we actually reported on some rumors months ago that turned out to be accurate here. So, perhaps the most notable is that the console will indeed provide 12 teraflops of GPU performance, which is over twice as much as the Xbox One X and 8 times as much as the original Xbox One. With 12 teraflops, the Series X is going to be in line with mid to high range PC graphics cards. So It's going to be relatively current when it comes out.
Okay.
And it's
You'd
hilarious.
hope, right? No.
Yeah, right. It's also hilarious because it puts Google Stadia's maximum capacity of 10 teraflops eating shit. Because you can kind of expect that PS5 is going to have similar capabilities. So if Stadia is going to max out at less than the Series X and PS5, yeah.
So I don't even know why the fuck you just brought up Google Stadia. Google Stadia is not even in this conversation to me.
It's in the conversation insofar as that the fucking
Yeah.
that's got to be the final nail in the coffin just right there.
Motherfucker, the nail was they shipped a coffin. They shipped a fucking like.
It was dead on arrival. Yeah, it was dead on arrival. The Series X will also support 8K resolutions and frame rates of up to 120 frames per second.
Ooh.
So that's kind of cool. 60 frames has kind of been the tippy top here that we're
For
kind of
console
used
gaming,
to for
yeah.
console gaming.
Yeah.
So it's cool that Xbox Series X is going to lift the curtain on that. The 8K resolution thing, again, we reported on when these rumors were coming around.
They are 8K TVs out?
I don't even think so.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what?
Well, they're future-proofing it, right?
I mean, yeah, because I'm about to say, 'cause Lord knows I ain't trying to buy a TV too. Shit.
I'm
Shit.
happy. I'm more than happy with my 4K TV.
I love my TV. God damn it.
HDMI 2.1 support will allow for lower latency and variable refresh rates.
That's good.
That's going to smooth out the visuals on your TV. This is another thing that we reported on with the rumors a few months ago. The console will also let you suspend and resume multiple games at a time. So that's going to be kind of cool.
I mean, I respect that, but then I'm also like, why?
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool.
it's just a flex. It's like weird flex, but okay.
It's like, oh, I think I saw somebody like, oh yeah, let me play that game I fucking paused like 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like shit.
And it's going to be, yeah, and they've also, there's going to be an SSD in the thing, so load time is going to be dramatically reduced. It seems like they're going to be putting a lot of focus on the power of this thing. They say, of course, that it is the most powerful Xbox they have ever made. So this is where it starts to get really cool, though. So the Series X will continue the trend that Xbox has had of allowing for backwards compatibility across the entire Xbox family of systems. However, they're introducing a new initiative called Smart Delivery. And essentially what this is, it ensures that you always have the best version of your game, no matter what Xbox you own it on. So, say Halo Infinite comes out, and you buy it for Xbox One.
Okay.
If you end up upgrading to Xbox Series X later, you also have it for the Series X.
Oh wow. So you don't have to spend money multiple times.
You don't have to buy anything twice. It's just you're going to have the best version of the game. So
That's cool.
Yeah, all first-party Microsoft games are going to support that, but
of course, yeah.
they're also allowing third-party developers to do it too.
Oh wow.
So CD Projekt Red has already confirmed that Cyberpunk is going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I did see that later on, I think.
Yes, so you can, if you wanted to pick the game up on Xbox One when it comes out in September, you can be comfortable in the knowledge that when the Series X comes out, you can upgrade for free.
That's fucking cool, though. I mean, I just respect that.
I mean, come on, dude. That's just fucking Microsoft, one of the many consumer-friendly things.
It's like, Lord knows, I wish they did some shit like that for GTA 5.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
But now I'm sitting here, I'm like, your move, Sony.
Yeah, it's like just...
Because it's...
ball is in your court, Sony.
I think it was just last week that I talked about how Sony is taking like a wait-and-see approach. Well... Sony has said practically nothing about PS5. Mm-hmm. And you'll remember, Xbox just casually revealed the Series X during the Game Awards.
It's what's funny is like I can imagine like Sony like that shit in SpongeBob like with his brain like they're running around like going crazy.
Yeah, I mean like Xbox they casually revealed the Series X with a trailer during the Game Awards. It's like okay. They're talking about it just flippantly. This was no like big press release. This is just something they just woke up on a Wednesday and said, "Hey, I guess I better reveal the final specs."
It's like it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Better reveal the final specs. Better talk about smart delivery and all this consumer-friendly shit.
That's great.
It's really awesome to see, and I really hope that you know, for as rough of a go that Microsoft had of it during this generation, it kind of teed them up to really make a difference for this generation.
See, that's the thing, man. I've made this joke like multiple times, but I'm like, I'm ready to go home. If you know what I'm saying, like the 360 was my baby.
We'll see.
I'm ready.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know how it's going to be for me. I just Xbox One just not my thing. I have one. I never play it.
Dude, I look at my Xbox and I laugh at it.
So much of it for me is the UI.
That yes,
So.
it is honestly that is my main issue with it. I just don't like using it. I don't like going around like the UI and all that. Because I think I told you, like Ronald tried to get me to like dude, play Rainbow with me. I'm like, bro, no. Like I have an Xbox. I think I dead ass pay for Game Pass. I don't jump on it. Like shit.
I mean, like I like the controller as much as anybody else.
Yeah, the controller is still up there as like like shit, top 5. But
it's just the user experience really is clunky on Xbox One.
That's something if they fix that shit, oof.
That really it really is a large part of it for me. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I mean, if they can manage to smooth a lot of that stuff out, we'll have to see. That might be a thing.
I just don't like everything's just like jumbled together in a weird way.
It just feels messy. Just it feels like a slog to do anything.
I'm a simple man. Like the way like the Switch and the PlayStation, you're just scrolling through like a line. I like that. It's clean.
Just give me a clean layout of just like this is my games that I have downloaded. This is my Game Pass section. This is my store section. Like that's all I need.
That's all I want. That's all I need.
I don't need any of this flash that they have. They've got the stupid Cortana support and the fucking. I don't need all that. I don't know. I wonder if a lot of that UI design started with the Kinect functionality.
Maybe.
So maybe like now that they're not having to give a shit about Kinect, maybe they'll just ditch all of that and do something a lot more streamlined.
Oh Lord, the fucking Kinect.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I
do you remember that? God, I'm not going off on that tangent. Fuck that.
Oh God.
No, we're good. We're good.
We'll see what happens when this thing finally comes out. I want to love you. I want to love you, Xbox. Let me love you. They're doing so many cool things for consumers. You want to be a part of that, it seems like.
Yep.
I don't know. So, Xbox Live Games with Gold for March has been revealed. We've got Telltale's Batman Season 2, The Enemy Within for Xbox One. That's going to be available for the entirety of the month. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 for Xbox 360 will be available from March 1st to March 15th. And then Sonic Generations will pick up the 360 side of things from March 16th to March 31st, while Shantae Half Genie Hero for Xbox One is going to round up the lineup from March 16th to April 15th. So, pretty decent lineup. By the way, I feel like there's some smart cross marketing happening here with all this Sonic stuff. There's like a huge Sonic sale going on the various stores, eShop, PlayStation Store, Xbox Store. And then we've got, Sonic Generations is happening for Games with Gold. And then, to piggyback off of that, March's PlayStation Plus games have also been revealed. So, PS Plus members can get both the Shadow of the Colossus remake for free and Sonic Forces for free, starting on March 3rd. So,
wait, is Sonic Forces that one game?
Yes.
Oh, shit. It's a fucking sign.
Yeah, we were talking. This is one of the games that we were talking about just as a joke, doing a video of. Maybe not a full series, but it would be funny to do a video.
Dude, here's the thing. If we do it, that's going to be basically that Monster Factory shit that we love to do. So.
Yeah, so a pretty good month for both of them, but it is funny how, Sonic movie comes out. Games with Gold gets a free Sonic game.
That's a smart move. It's a smart move, honestly.
Sonic Forces is free. All the other hell, they sold me a copy of Sonic Mania on Switch. I'm not going to lie. Walking out of that theater, you kind of want to play a Sonic game. It's got a cool end credit scene. It's got a cool end credit sequence with the 2D. It's got the pixel art and everything while the credits are playing. It's like, makes you want to play.
In the mood a little bit. Yeah.
Puts you in the mood. I'm not a Sonic fan, but it puts you in the mood. Anyway, PSA, as always, like I always say, make sure you add these games to your account. Even if you don't plan on playing them right now, who knows? You might want to play them later. Tie these games to your account for forever. Why not? It's free. I keep imploring you to do this. It's like, maybe one day you're going to get into a fucking car accident and you're going to wake up and you're going to have a brain injury and suddenly you're an enormous Sonic fan. You're going to wish you had Sonic Forces on your account. Anyway, let's round out the news this week in a galaxy far, far away. I've got 2 bits of Star Wars news. One not so good and one good. I'm going to end the show on a positive note, so we're going to talk about the negative story first. So, Jason Schreier over at Kotaku, the Oracle, who we cite a whole bunch on this show, he broke the story this week that EA has canceled yet another Star Wars game. This will be the 3rd Star Wars game that the publisher has killed since 2017. So, the game in question was codenamed Viking. It was planned for release this fall alongside the next-gen consoles. But according to Jason's 6 anonymous sources, EA realized that the timeline was unrealistic and opted to axe the project altogether. Todd, what do you make of this? Another Star Wars game falls to the dust.
So what the fuck was do we have any information on it or like?
We kind of do. So the game was apparently going to be a spin-off of the Battlefront series.
Okay.
It says it was going to have some open world elements. I don't know exactly what that means. I guess it was going to be something of an open world shooter. Criterion, that's the studio behind the Burnout and the Need for Speed games. They were brought in to help out with the game. And from what we're hearing, Criterion was kind of trying to take over a little too much. It's kind of a too many cooks in the kitchen scenario. And then it kind of was obvious that the game wasn't going to be ready in time, and EA had no interest in extending the timeline, so they killed it. So yeah. So let's go through the history here of how we got to today. So EA canceled. You remember when Visceral Games was shuttered in October of 2017? EA canceled the Amy Hennig-led single-player Star Wars game called Ragtag.
So which we assume was going to be kind of like Star Wars meets Uncharted?
Yeah,
right?
It seemed like it was going to be kind of a single-player focused Star Wars third-person action-adventure game, so they killed that. They took the assets from that game and they shifted development over to EA Vancouver. If you remember, they were like, hey, EA Vancouver is going to make a new open-world kind of Star Wars meets Destiny kind of project.
That got fucked.
So yeah, that game, it was called Orca. That was in development throughout the entire year of 2018, and then EA canceled it too. So EA Vancouver then spun up a smaller development team to work on a smaller scale Star Wars project, one that would release this fall, in fall of 2020, alongside the next-gen consoles, and sort of fill a financial hole that needed filling, and that game was Viking. So, yeah.
Incredible.
So of...
At least we got Fallen Order.
Yeah, Fallen Order made the cut and did really well. So the status quo of Star Wars and EA today, EA actually just recently gave Criterion back the keys to Need for Speed. No pun intended. Despite the fact that the series has actually enjoyed recent success, because Need for Speed Heat, which was made by Ghost Games, which, by the way, EA recently restructured Ghost Games into EA Gothenburg, and they're like, hey, you guys are just going to focus on engineering support now. Fuck you guys, you're not making games anymore.
Shit.
But it makes no sense, because Need for Speed Heat apparently was pretty good and actually sold appreciably. Like, it sold pretty well. And apparently it was pretty good. But EA reacts to that by saying, hey, you're no longer Ghost Games, you're EA Gothenburg, and you're going to focus on engineering support? And let's give the keys to Need for Speed back to Criterion? That just makes no sense to me. Anyway, as for EA Vancouver, they've been tasked with supporting other studios. So EA Vancouver is working with BioWare on Anthem, and they're working with Respawn on Apex and stuff like that. So, as for EA and Star Wars, they currently have 2 Star Wars games in development. One of them is a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, of course.
Of course.
Over there at Respawn. And Jason says that they're also working on a smaller scale project at EA Motive in Montreal, and Jason calls it more unusual than you might think.
What?
So I'm curious about that. We'll see. We obviously will not get that Fallen Order sequel anytime soon. So I'm hoping that we get another Star Wars game from them sooner rather than later, because it has been a pretty abysmal decade or so that EA has held this license. EA has held this license now since 2013.
And they've done almost nothing.
They've done Fallen Order, 2 Battlefront games, and like some mobile shit.
That's fucked, bro. That's fuck.
Yep. Anyway, let's wash that bad taste of EA out of our mouth and talk about some good Star Wars news. So, I think I may have talked about this on the podcast. I can't remember. They over there, it's in the powers that be at Star Wars and Lucasfilm have been teasing this mysterious Project Luminous for a while, right?
Do we know what it is now?
We do know what it is now. So it's actually, it's been a bit of a poorly kept secret. We've kind of known what it is for a while now, but now it's official. So Project Luminous is actually going to be the return of the Old Republic to official Star Wars canon. It is now called the High Republic. So the sort of reintroduction of the Old Republic into new canon via the High Republic.
Okay.
So Project Luminous is a publishing initiative that is going to introduce the High Republic to the new canon. Begins its rollout later this year. We're going to be getting several adult and young adult novels, children's books, and comic books that will be kind of like introducing this new setting into the current canon. Which is good news. I mean, the Old Republic is an exciting time in Star Wars lore. So
you call it by its true name now.
It's now the High Republic, and we will get to see what the deal is there.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it's just gonna be like how I am with like the Sears Tower. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna still call it the Old Republic, bitch.
So, spoilers. It sounds pretty similar to the Old Republic, based on what we know, but it does have some tweaks. They definitely are taking like a little bit of a different bend with it, but it does sound very similar to the Old Republic that we're used to. So, the High Republic represents the height of the Galactic Republic. It takes place about 200 years before the prequel trilogy.
Okay.
And of course, just like in the Old Republic, the Jedi Order is kind of at its prime. We've got some scarce details, but Lucasfilm has recruited several fan-favorite authors, like Claudia Gray and Charles Soule, who you may recognize. Claudia Gray is a novelist. Charles Soule is involved with the Vader comics. And they're going to be a part of this initiative. They describe this era as being full of light and optimism, with darkness looming just beyond the surface of it all in the Outer Rim territories. They view these like Jedi of this period as almost being like a Knights of the Round Table kind of vibe.
Okay.
But there will still be some threats, like a new enemy, a new race, or I guess it's a race, or some new enemy that they're calling the Nile. They describe them as kind of like space Vikings.
Okay.
They like pillage and plunder. And they operate in the Outer Rim territories. The Outer Rim, of course, is where the kind of main Jedi don't really operate. However, they did describe that there are Jedi that kind of go out there almost like gunslingers, like kind of like lone wanderers that police the Outer Rim,
That's cool. I like it.
So I was like, yeah, I'm on board with that.
Give me a game about that. No.
Right? I'm cool with that. So here's the only thing that kind of upsets me about this news. So the rollout of this High Republic stuff, it's going to begin at Star Wars Celebration this August in Anaheim, and it's going to continue throughout the fall. So they're kind of starting this, all the stuff that we know about this sort of initial wave of High Republic stuff is all very Jedi focused.
Yeah.
And that kind of bums me out, because like that's not all I want to know about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested in this stuff, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a few of them that I'm already looking at. I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to pick this up and that up, blah, blah, blah. But I want to know about more. I want to know about what's going on with the Outer Rim. I want to know about the Sith's role in this kind of new canon High Republic. I want to know about, like, you know, are we going to get any characters from the sort of old canon brought into the new canon? Are we going to get, like, there's been rumors that, you know, we talked about this a few weeks ago on the show, that they're working on a kind of Knights of the Old Republic game for the new canon. So it's like, okay, like, are we going to get some of those old characters reworked in the new canon? Where's Revan in the High Republic? Where's, you know, Bastila and Malik and all these characters? And Nihilus and Kreia and all this shit, you know. It'd be
all very cool fucking characters. I'd love to see them reworked then.
It would be really cool to see them reworked into the canon, or even like some other, you know, off Bible characters.
Off Bible characters.
I want to sort of I want to know how this all plays in, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems to me like we're just a little too Jedi focused with this initial rollout.
Dude, you already know it's always going to be like that though. The initial rollout, at least.
I guess. I don't know.
You don't like Jedis. We get it. So, no, I'm just playing.
Who doesn't like Jedi? I love Jedi.
I know. You just wish it was a little.
You
want a little more than that. I know.
The universe is so much bigger than just Jedi. And if you look at this, I'm actually looking at the book covers right now. They're gorgeous covers. Don't get me wrong. So Charles Soule is right. I think this is actually considered the adult novel of the bunch here. It's called Light of the Jedi. And we've got, like, it's an interesting cover, right? Because we see, like, these Jedi Knights. One of them, by the way, is a Wookiee. And this Wookiee is wielding a crossguard lightsaber. I'm like, that's cool.
Dude, I think they are, like, one of the top. Like, they're showing a lot of the crossguards. There's, like, this one fucking shot of, like, a shit ton of them, like, put their sabers in the air.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make that seem like that was, like, always a thing.
right, yeah.
Like, before Kylo Ren, that was always a thing.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Claudia Gray book, Into the Dark, which is the one that I kind of want to check out. This one, A Test of Courage, I think this is probably the children's book, just based on the art here.
Yeah.
Cool-looking art, but then, like, so we do see here with the Marvel Star Wars The High Republic comic, we just get some concept art. I think this is actually concept art of the Nile in this variant that we see here. I don't know what the comic is going to touch on. We don't really know anything about that, but I think this is the look of the Nile, where they've got this sort of, like, metallic.
Well, one of them looks like a
Twi'lek, maybe.
Yeah. So maybe it's not like a race, but just like a group.
That's sort of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like it's sort of like you know, like there could be different races, but you sort of, maybe it's like a sort of like indoctrination sort of thing. I don't know. These are the things I want to know. I don't just want to know about these goddamn Jedi. I don't know. We'll see.
Too goddamn bad, boy.
We'll see. Todd, you excited for some High Republic?
Motherfucker, I'm just sitting there with my dick rock solid for Revan to get reworked in.
Do you feel like you might pick up any of these books?
I'm actually kind of interested, actually.
Kind of hungry to read a good Star Wars books.
I'm kind of down. I'm gonna, because which ones are you looking at? You're looking at that one, that Claudia Gray one?
The Into the Dark seems kind of cool. They've talked about this. There's going to be some sort of event that they're calling the Great Disaster.
Okay.
We don't know anything about it, but apparently that's going to be something.
Pretty vague, but all right.
So I'll just go through this here. So the first book to get released is Soul's book, Light of the Jedi. That comes out August 25th. That's basically going to be like the main entry point. I'm probably going to pick that up. It's going to kind of set up the High Republic.
Yeah, I might pick that up my damn self then.
It's going to be its own story.
Is this the return of book club? No, I'm just...
Don't make any promises.
I'm not making promises.
And then the Justina Ireland book, the one that looks like a kid's book, that's on September 8th. Stars a 16-year-old Jedi Knight, the youngest Jedi Knight ever. So that could be interesting. Then Claudia Gray's book, Into the Dark, on October 13th, about a Jedi and a Padawan during the Great Disaster.
Okay.
And how they interact with the regular people of the era. And then we get the 2 ongoing comic series that will tie into it as well, which we don't know about.
I'm probably gonna pick up Light of the Jedi and then the End of the Dark.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into as we get more details, but I'm kind of looking into most of these. I'm very very interested. So it's gonna
Wouldn't
be cool.
mind sitting down reading a book.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Been a little minute.
I'm looking forward to this stuff being reworked into canon. Of course, they've been talking about doing some Old Republic or High Republic movies for a while now. There was rumors that was actually what D&D were working on. Benioff and Weiss.
Yes.
There were rumors that they're working on a movie trilogy set in the High Republic. So the stirrings of the Old Republic being reworked into new canon has been happening for a long time with the powers that be over there at Star Wars. Seems like now that the Skywalker saga is kind of done, it seems like this is where we're going to get a lot more content. And by the way, there are substantial rumors that they're also going to announce at Celebration Anaheim the return of Star Wars Rebels. So,
I did hear about that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm fucking down for that.
because they leave it wide open, right?
Dude, it's wide the fuck open, dude.
Knowing how it all ends and everything, it's like okay.
I am so ready to see like what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so down for that.
Well, what we really need above all else is we need closure with Ahsoka.
Yes,
Because
without a doubt.
that's the
We
main
need to
thing.
see where it leads into what's going on with Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, by the way, Clone Wars has started and we have not watched it yet. And
I haven't
and it bums me out.
Yeah.
I want to watch it, just haven't got around to it yet.
My dad has watched the first episode.
Yeah, well, so
And,
it's weird because I've kind of seen the first episode without seeing it. Because back before Clone Wars Season 7 was going to be a possibility, they actually kind of showed the first episode, The Bad Batch.
Oh, really?
They showed it with like the actual storyboards. Like they recorded the VO for it and everything. So they were like, "Hey, this is never going to happen. So here's the storyboards with the VO."
But now it actually happened.
And now it's actually
That's
a thing.
funny.
So it's going to be funny and weird to watch the actual final episode. So I want to watch it. I know they're releasing it at like how they did with Mandalorian. It's going to be like every week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
make time for that eventually. Anyway, the Star Wars train is not stopping, Todd. We're going to have some Star Wars always. You fatigued by Star Wars yet?
No, not really.
Neither am I. I'm one of those rare people. Like I see people all the time.
I enjoy Star Wars. Like, dude, I actually sat there recently. I was like, I was on Disney Plus. I'm like, I could rewatch all of you right now.
You know what it is? I think I love Star Wars too much. I don't know that I could get fatigued of it. I feel about Star Wars like how Dan feels about Marvel. And for me, I'm kind of fatigued by these Marvel movies and have been for years. And it's one of those things where, like, for example, the Black Widow movie is coming out soon. I feel nothing for that movie. Like, I might see it, but I have no, like...
I feel more for it than I did for Captain Marvel.
I have no interest. My interest level is so slight with the Black Widow movie. Like, I saw the trailer and it evoked, like, zero emotion out of me. Like, zero. I could not really give a fuck less. And, like, I sort of wonder, after this, like, now that this Infinity Saga has kind of simmered down, I wonder if, like, a lot of people are just going to throw up the deuces.
I have seen a lot. I'm not going to say I've seen a lot, but I have seen people say that online about, like, I'm kind of good.
But so while Dan, though, he's still he's like, oh, I can't wait for this new shit, you know, blah, blah,
I mean,
blah.
there's things I'm looking forward to, but now I'm like worried about Doctor Strange 2.
Right.
I'm worried about that. There's shit like I was looking forward to, but now I'm like kind of like, what's going on?
I feel more
there?
comfortable
Shit.
like skipping stuff and like I'm looking forward to the Disney Plus shows and stuff like that, but I'm not like
I am looking forward to those. I do want to see like Scarlet Witch and the Vision shit.
the WandaVision.
Yeah, the WandaVision crap. But yeah, I mean, the shit I'm looking forward to, but then there's just stuff where I'm like, it's whatever.
I don't know, man. But that's exactly how he feels, though. He's not fatigued in the least. He'll be there for every one of them. Midnight premiere, you know. And that's kind of how I am with Star Wars. I'm not fatigued at all. Bring on Rebels, Rebels, the new Rebels series. Bring on this High Republic shit. I want to be engrossed in all of it. I'm like so on board. By the way, real one last quick tangent before we wrap this episode up. Did I show you the Revan figure that GameStop has for the Black Series?
Is it the white one?
Yeah, it's like the light side Revan.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I decided too late that I want to get my hands on it.
Oh, you idiot.
I wasn't going to get one, but now that I've like seen it, like out of the box and everything, I'm like,
oh yeah, is that the deal? Yeah, man, like, because I saw like I looked it up. It's like he has like kind of like that, like those like beige robes on and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it.
Dude, it looks good. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm like, I should have pre-ordered one. God damn it.
You fucking fool.
That's how it always is with me. That's how I will find something that I want.
You have a Revan figure, right?
Yeah, I have the regular Revan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I got that when it was rare. It's not rare anymore. They re-released it, and now you can get it for like $20.
Be hipster about it, bitch.
I got that figure when it was going for like $80.
I got that figure when it mattered, bitches.
Anyway, I'm happy to exist in this Star Wars hell that some people are existing in. Look at it this way. You guys might be fatigued with Star Wars, but let me enjoy it. Let me enjoy it, damn it. This is my time.
No.
I live.
All right. You're about to go full Goonies right there, or what?
It is. This is my time. I lived in the shadows for so long with no Star Wars anything.
That's a movie I haven't watched in a long time.
Goonies?
I kind of want to watch it.
I kind of want you to do the truffle shuffle for me.
Shit, I've been looking at my fat ass right now. I'm like, ugh.
Anyway, Todd, you got anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Everyone get ready for the coronavirus.
Oh, God.
Everyone go out, prepare, stock up, be ready.
I think I fucking have it right now. Do you think
coming.
the coronavirus makes you fat? Because if so, do you think the coronavirus gives you a pregnant stomach?
No. Joking aside, though, be prepared.
And with
Or
that,
die.
all right. And with that, we'll catch you guys next week. I guess. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.